Verse 5. Yeah, when others out of jealousy mistreat me with abuse, slander, and so on, I will practice accepting defeat and offering the victory to them. So that's talking about when people are jealous of us and then try and undermine us. But before we get into that, I think it's useful to talk about when we're jealous of other people and try and undermine them. Although I know nobody here has that problem, this is talking about other people, who are filled with jealousy, that nobody here is like that. But just in case you know somebody is, I'll talk about it and then you can tell that person, okay? So, the jealousy, I think, is one of the most painful things, at least in my experience. When I am jealous, my mind is just completely contracted in pain because I'm comparing myself to somebody else and I'm losing out and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm sitting there, fuming and trying desperately to think of some plan to get even, to show how I'm actually better than the next person. But I feel crummy about myself for thinking about those kind of plans, and yet the situation is intolerable, that this person has what I deserve. Okay, and the universe isn't fair, and da 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 da. Yeah, you do. You guys don't know that feeling. Anyway, yeah. So they have a little slogan that's called "Be careful of what you want because you might get it." Okay, so with jealousy, we don't bother to really check up with what we want to see what, if getting it will actually make us feel happy or not. We're just stuck in, like, I want it and I'm not getting it and they have it. Okay, so regarding the trip to Asia, that we just came back from. So Venerable Wu Yin's assistant, Venerable Jen Yi, you met her last year? Yeah? So she was there because Venerable Wu Yin was there, and she was very, always assisting Venerable Wu Yin and helping her walk and get seated and things like that. And occasionally she'd help me too because Venerable Damcha had wandered off somewhere or was busy translating for someone else. Though one time, I tell you, we came out of, one of the ordination things, and I don't speak any Chinese, and this person is saying, come with me, and they take me down to the second floor, and then they take me up to the fourth floor, and I don't know where I'm going and where I'm supposed to be, and I can't understand anything. And then finally the elevator door opens, and there's Venerable Damcha talking to some people, and I wasn't very happy. Yeah. Anyway, Venerable Damcha told me that she asked Venerable Genyi, if other people at Luminary Temple ever get jealous of her because she is Venerable Wu Yin's attendant and she gets to travel with Venerable Wu Yin and serve her and meet all these other people. And Venerable Genyi said, no, nobody's jealous of her at all because Venerable Wu Yin is very sharp with when you make a mistake and will tell you quite directly. So everybody is quite happy that she has that job and they're not jealous. Okay. Yeah, but it seems like maybe Venerable Damcha feels that some other vague people, nobody here, of course, might be jealous of her because she travels with me and gets to hear me when I tell her that when she made a mistake. But of course, I don't tell you when you make any mistakes because you don't make any mistakes. And even if I told you, you'd all cry and run down the hill. So it's useless. Yeah, wouldn't you? Yeah, as fast as you could go. Okay. So, uh, so, jealousy is extremely painful, and it's really kind of a dead end. So I think it's good to work, to try and do something about it, because otherwise we just really stay stuck in a very painful state of mind. So what do you do about it? The last thing you want to do, which is be happy about the other person's good fortune. Because isn't jealousy a mind that is unhappy about somebody else's talent or good fortune? Yeah, it's a mind that can't stand others' happiness and virtue. Yeah. Now, what kind of mind is that? Is that a virtuous mind? No, it's a pretty nasty, ugly mind, isn't it? You know, it's like, because we're sitting here and we always, may all sentient beings have happiness and its causes, may all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes, and I can't stand that that person gets to do what I can't do, and they have that talent that I don't have, and they have the opportunity, and I'm looked over, and the universe is so unfair. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. There's like some disconnect here, isn't there, don't you think, between what we say every day in our practices and what's really going on in our mind? Hmm? Thank you. So, it's really something that we need to work on. Otherwise, saying the four immeasurables or generating bodhicitta is kind of like a joke, isn't it? May all sentient beings have happiness except the people I'm jealous of, and may they suffer, and may I take all their happiness and have it for myself because I'm better than them anyway. Yeah, so what kind of person does it make us when we're jealous? Yeah? It's kind of like we just revert to either being a child who's jealous of our siblings, or being a teenager. And remember your teenage jealousy? Oh, it makes you enough not want to never want to come back and go through teenage years again. Yeah. Oh, teenage jealousy is horrible. Yeah. So I think sometimes just being aware of how painful the jealousy can be a very good motivator to just drop the issue. Because the jealousy is all made up by our own mind, isn't it? It's created solely by our own mind. There's nothing in the situation to be jealous of. Yeah, whatever it is you're jealous of, like they say, be careful, you may get it, because when you get it, there's all sorts of problems that come with it. Okay, so we all want to be noticed, we want praise and fame. As soon as you're noticed, the criticism starts. Yeah? As soon as people, if you want praise, you're also going to get criticism. That's the way it works. Yeah. And if you want fame, you're also going to get lots of criticism. Yeah? And if you want the opportunity that somebody else has, you're going to get all the downsides of that opportunity as well, because nothing comes free of charge, so to speak. Everything has a charge in it when our mind has jealousy and anger. Yeah, so the best thing is, if you just really get in touch with your own pain when you're jealous and then drop it, then your mind can rest at ease. Yeah. And then then on top of that, to really affirm that you've been able to drop it, then rejoice that the other person has that ability or talent or virtue or whatever it is. Yeah, isn't that nice that that person has it? Why do I have to always be the one who gets everything good? Because actually, when I look at it, I have a lot of good opportunities right now. Yeah, and there's probably a lot of people who are jealous of the opportunities I have now, but I don't appreciate my own opportunities. I always look on the other side of the fence, where the grass is greener. and the situation is better, and the chanting is better. Yeah. But actually, you know, would it really make us happy? That's the question. And so sometimes I find it very helpful, you know, to think of getting this thing, this situation that I'm craving, that I'm really jealous about, and then playing it out in my mind. You know, what's really going to happen if I have that ability or opportunity? Then what else is going to come along with it? And am I going to be able to handle what comes along with it? And will I be really happy? Okay. And then turn it around and rejoice at the other person's opportunity. Yeah. Yesterday, when I was speaking to the group of teenagers, yeah, it came out that I had been married. And so at that point, all the hands went up, you know. What? So one of the teenage girls, she said, you know, because I told them that my mother introduced my ex-husband to somebody else who he married. And she said, are you jealous of you know, this, his new wife? And I said, no, I'm very glad she's married to him and not me, you know? And they were really rather shocked about that. But I said it sincerely, you know, I'm very happy for them. And I wouldn't trade places for the world, you know, because I like my life being a nun. You know, I'm not jealous of her at all. So, yeah, it was really kind of interesting. It was a question that nobody's ever asked me before, and I had never thought of it before. Yeah, because why in the world would I be jealous of her when I have a wonderful life? Yeah. So, yeah, so anyway, think about it. Tell it to all the people you know who are jealous because you aren't. Um, and, you know, just keep it in the back of your mind, maybe, okay? Yes.
I think that last you shared is a point, you know, when we are accepting or when we have fulfilled our personal aspirations, then there is no need to look around and compare. So my process of practice is really to learn to see my abilities, to see what I have, and as you mentioned too, and I recognize that indeed with that comes some satisfaction. I'm less driven by looking around and seeing what others have, what I. So I now, as a teenager, it was terrible, and I was not able to look within and see what I have already, and so I'm confident with more practice that will be even more stable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what you said about when we work towards fulfilling our own aspirations, then there's a sense of satisfaction inside and contentment. And jealousy just doesn't arise then.
For me, when I have jealousy, also there's a lot of arrogance. And it's the arrogance that binds me into and keeps me in the jealousy. So I have to dismantle the arrogance a bit before I can move things. Yeah. So that always seems to go hand in hand.
Yeah, because arrogance, jealousy, and competition are the three things that keep us comparing ourselves to others. With jealousy, they're better than we are. With arrogance, we're better than them. With competition, we're equal and we're trying to get better. Yeah, and so those three, like you said, they come together. You know, it's all based on the mind that's comparing myself to others. Yeah, and especially the arrogance of they have it and actually I'm better and I should have it. Yeah.
My kind of comment kind of ties into that in terms of I see when I have to look at my expectations and how that's fueling the jealousy, because if I think I should be here and I'm not, then the competition comes, then the arrogance comes, and then the jealousy comes. Mm-hmm. So I've seen when I've reflecting on situations where I'm in the thick of jealousy, my expectation of where I should be or what I should have is being thoroughly challenged, and I'm not very happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it starts with unrealistic expectations of yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. The image of what should be.
Mm-hmm.
Or one thing that particularly comes to mind is when I first got here, and I took my anagaric on the same day as Venerable Nima was being ordained. Ooh, I was so jealous in the lead up to that. It was so misery making because I wanted to be getting ordained, and I wasn't. And in the lead up, it's like, this is not the mind that I'm going to do this with. I cannot allow myself to enter this training period, enter my life in this community with that nasty, horrible, painful mind. And so I really had to turn it.
Yeah.
So it's my expectation of where I should be or what I should have, and then that being not what was reality.
Yeah. And being discontent.
Incredibly, not seeing, like what Venerable Jama said, not seeing how much I had in that moment that I was completely oblivious to because that one had what I wanted.
Yeah.